The longer you dwell on the past, the less of the future you have to enjoy. Life isn't about constantly looking over your shoulder, longing for what was, or regretting what could have been. It's okay if you're unsure how to move forward. Just start with something simpler, like resisting the urge to go back. Growth doesn't require giant leaps. Sometimes it's just about taking one small step in the right direction. Learn to see people for who they truly are, not for who you wish they would be. Holding on to illusions will only lead to disappointment. People reveal their true nature, not in words, but in actions. Pay attention. Some connections are meant to teach you lessons, not to last a lifetime. It's better to go to bed on an empty stomach than to wake up drowning in debt. Struggling financially is never a shame, but allowing yourself to be consumed by shame because of it is truly unfortunate. Hard times are temporary, but your mindset is what determines whether you rise above them or let them define you. Strength doesn't come from never falling, it comes from rising every time you do. Never change who you are just to make someone else happy, unless that someone is you. You are the one who has to live with yourself every day, so your happiness and self-respect should always come first. Shape yourself into the best version of you, not into what someone else expects or desires. Don't waste your energy worrying about those who speak behind your back. There's a reason they're behind you. People who gossip about you when you're not around are revealing more about their own character than yours. Keep moving forward. Their words only have power if you choose to listen. Your life isn't truly your own if you spend it obsessing over what others think. The need for approval can be a cage, trapping you in a life that isn't meant for you. True freedom comes when you stop seeking validation from people who don't walk in your shoes. A man without a vision for the future will always find himself returning to his past. Without clear goals, it's easy to get stuck in cycles of old mistakes, familiar patterns, and unfulfilled dreams. The past has lessons to teach, but it should never become your home. Make as many mistakes as you need to, but never make the same mistake twice. Growth isn't about avoiding failure, it's about learning from it. Mistakes are stepping stones, not roadblocks, as long as you use them to build a wiser, stronger version of yourself. 3 out of 4 people you meet in life are longing for understanding, for someone who truly sees and acknowledges them. Offer them genuine empathy, and you will leave a lasting imprint on their hearts. People don't just seek solutions to their problems, they crave to be heard, to know that their feelings matter. When you make someone feel understood, they will remember you not for what you said, but for how you made them feel. A person's name is the sweetest and most significant sound they can hear, no matter the language. It is tied to their identity, their sense of self. Addressing someone by their name with warmth and sincerity can make them feel valued in an instant. Small gestures of recognition, like remembering details about their life, can mean more than grand declarations. If you engage someone in a conversation about themselves, their dreams, fears, experiences, they will listen to you for hours. People are naturally drawn to those who show curiosity and appreciation for their world. In truth, the easiest way to make a connection is not to impress others with your own stories, but to make them feel like theirs matter. Until you become completely at ease with solitude, you will never truly know whether you are with someone out of love or simply out of a fear of being alone. Loneliness can push people into relationships that fill a void rather than nourish their souls. But when you learn to find peace in your own company, you will no longer settle for companionship that merely keeps you from being alone. You will choose connection for the right reasons, not as a way to escape your own silence. People do not decide their future, they decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. Success, failure, happiness, and regret are not the result of a single decision, but of small, repeated actions that shape the course of our lives. Every choice, no matter how insignificant it seems, is a building block for what comes next. If you want to change your life, start by changing what you do every day. The greatest challenge in life is discovering who you truly are. The second greatest challenge is learning to accept and be at peace with what you find. Many people spend their lives searching for identity in the expectations of others, in societal norms, or in fleeting desires, only to feel lost when those things no longer define them. True fulfillment comes when you embrace your own uniqueness, strengths, and even flaws without the need for external validation. Love is not something you can force, neither in others nor in yourself. No matter how much you wish for someone to love you, if their heart does not hold space for you, nothing you do can change that. Likewise, no amount of logic or effort can make you genuinely love someone if your heart is not drawn to them. Love is not a matter of willpower, but of connection, timing, and authenticity. Do not destroy opportunities for the sake of short-term comfort. The easy choice at the moment is often the one that costs you the most in the long run. Growth requires stepping into discomfort, sacrificing temporary pleasures for lasting rewards. Sometimes the hardest thing and the right thing are one and the same. Life has a way of teaching lessons in cycles. If you do not learn them the first time, they will return in different forms until you finally understand. The same mistakes, the same struggles, and the same patterns will keep appearing until you break free from them. Growth is not about avoiding pain, but about learning from it, so you do not have to repeat the same suffering twice. Money is a terrible master but an excellent servant. When it controls you, it can lead to stress, greed, and emptiness. But when you learn to control it, money becomes a powerful tool that can open doors, create opportunities, and provide freedom. True wealth isn't just about how much you earn, it's about how wisely you use what you have. Let money work for you, not the other way around. Luck is not some mystical force that randomly blesses a few and ignores others. It is simply the moment when preparation meets opportunity. Those who appear lucky are often the ones who have quietly put in the work, sharpened their skills, and stayed ready for when the right moment arrived. Success rarely comes from waiting, it comes from creating the conditions where opportunities can find you. If you want to achieve greatness, do not just follow the well-trodden paths of past success. Innovation, progress, and true impact come from forging new roads, not merely walking in someone else's footsteps. The world does not reward those who simply imitate, it celebrates those who dare to think differently, to take risks, and to push beyond the limits of what is considered possible. Too many people spend money they haven't earned to buy things they don't need, just to impress people they don't even like. This cycle of materialism and social validation is a trap that leads to financial stress and personal dissatisfaction. True fulfillment does not come from possessions or external approval. It comes from living with purpose, making wise choices, and prioritizing what truly matters. Do not fall into the illusion that status symbols equal success. Real success is measured by freedom, peace of mind, and meaningful connections. The secret to success is not in grand gestures or once-in-a-lifetime breakthroughs. It lies in doing the ordinary things with extraordinary dedication. Small, consistent efforts, when done with passion and excellence, will always outweigh occasional bursts of brilliance. Mastery is not about what you do once. It's about what you do every single day. Those who rise above the rest are not necessarily the most talented, but the most disciplined, the most persistent, and the most committed to turning even the simplest tasks into something remarkable. You may think you truly understand someone, but in reality, you only see the version of them that you want to see. People are complex, layered, and often far different from the image we create in our minds. We filter their words and actions through our own perceptions, assumptions, and desires, believing we know their intentions when, in truth, we may only be seeing what we wish to believe. True understanding requires patience, an open mind, and the willingness to accept people for who they are, not who we expect them to be. If you do not take control of your own mind, someone else will do it for you. The world is full of influences, distractions, and voices trying to shape your thoughts, your beliefs, and your decisions. If you are not consciously steering your own course, you may find yourself being led in directions you never intended to go. Protect your mind. Choose your influences wisely. Be the one who decides the narrative of your own life, instead of letting others dictate it for you. At the very least, some people exist in your life solely to teach you who you should never become. Not every encounter is meant to be pleasant or uplifting. Some are meant to be warnings, lessons in what not to do, who not to trust, and what kind of person you never want to be. Every experience, even the painful ones, holds wisdom if you are willing to see it. Learn from the mistakes of others so you do not have to make them yourself. We are the average of the people we spend the most time with. Whether we realize it or not, our mindset, habits, and attitudes are deeply influenced by those around us. If you surround yourself with negativity, doubt, and complacency, you will absorb those qualities. But if you choose to be around people who inspire you, challenge you, and push you to be better, you will naturally rise to their level. Be intentional with your circle. Your growth depends on it. Change doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who act. If you long for transformation but refuse to move, you'll find yourself stuck in the same cycle, year after year. Life is fluid, ever-changing, and the only way to truly evolve is to embrace discomfort. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, because it doesn't exist. The moment you decide to change is the perfect moment. People will come and go in your life, and often, those you never expected to leave will become distant memories. It's a harsh truth. Permanence is an illusion. Cherish people while they are present, but don't cling to them when they are gone. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give yourself is the freedom to let go. Selfishness is not always a vice, it is sometimes a necessity. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and prioritizing yourself is not an act of cruelty, but of survival. The world teaches us to give, to be selfless, to put others first. But the truth is, if you constantly sacrifice your needs, you will lose yourself. Learn to say no. Learn to step back. Learn that putting yourself first is sometimes the kindest thing you can do, not just for yourself, but for those around you. A smile costs nothing, yet it holds immense power. It can disarm hostility, brighten someone's day, or remind the world that, despite everything, you refuse to be broken. But don't wear a smile as a mask. Your emotions are valid. Allow yourself to feel, to grieve, to express. Strength is not in pretending to be okay. It's in acknowledging when you are not and choosing to move forward anyway. Your character will always outweigh your reputation. People's opinions of you shift like the wind. One day, they praise you. The next, they tear you down. But your integrity, your essence, remains constant. Focus on being a person of value rather than someone who simply seeks validation. Reputation is a shadow. Character is the foundation. Success is not built on ease, it is paved with failure. Every disappointment, every rejection, Every setback is a stepping stone. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. The successful ones keep climbing, no matter how many times they fall. Your worth is not defined by those who fail to see it. Some people will never recognize your value, no matter what you do. That is their limitation, not yours. There are no bad emotions, only misguided reactions to them. Anger, sadness, fear, these feelings are not your enemy. They exist to teach you, to push you, to force you to grow. Learn to channel your emotions into something constructive, rather than letting them consume you. Pain, when processed correctly, becomes fuel. Enemies tell the truth to hurt you. Friends tell lies to protect you. It is a painful reality that sometimes those who despise you will be more honest than those who love you. Learn to discern between brutal honesty and gentle deception. The person who always tells you what you want to hear may not be your friend. They may simply fear losing your favor. If you live for the approval of others, you'll die as their prisoner. Opinions are fleeting, ever-changing, and often based on shallow perceptions. The moment you stop caring about what others think is the moment you truly start living. Do not be so consumed with pleasing people that you forget to please yourself. Money is a tool, not a master. If you believe money can solve all your problems, you will soon find yourself a slave to it. There is nothing wrong with wealth, but it should never be the only thing you seek. Chase meaning, not just money, because if you only live for material gain, one day you will realize that the richest people are often the poorest in spirit. You unconsciously teach people how to treat you. Every time you allow disrespect, every time you ignore a red flag, every time you accept less than you deserve, you send a message. This is okay, it's not. Set boundaries. Enforce them. Walk away when necessary. A debate should not be a war, it should be a bridge. The goal is not to prove who is right, but to understand each other better. The loudest person in the room is rarely the wisest. True intelligence lies in listening, in questioning, in considering perspectives beyond your own. If something terrifies you, it might be worth doing. Fear is often an indicator that you are stepping outside your comfort zone, and that is where growth happens. Stop letting fear dictate your choices. Take risks. Chase uncertainty. Some of the best moments in life begin with fear. Not everyone will like you. Accept it. In fact, develop the ability to be disliked because the freedom to be yourself is worth more than universal approval. Speak your truth. Do not soften your words for the comfort of others. If someone's absence brings you peace, then you haven't lost anything at all. Some people take more than they give, drain more than they replenish, and their departure is not a loss, it is a relief. Learn to differentiate between missing someone and missing the idea of them. Everyone sees what you show, but only a few understand who you really are. Never expect the world to get you. Find the few who do and cherish them. If forced to choose, it is better to be respected than adored. Love and fear rarely coexist, and admiration built on respect will last far longer than affection built on convenience. Beginnings are disguised as endings. When one chapter closes, another is already waiting to be written. Starting over is not failure, it is experience applied differently. The more responsibility you take for your life, the more control you have over its direction. Even those closest to you may not always know what is best for you. Well-meaning advice is not always correct. Trust yourself. Seek guidance, but remember you are the one living your life. We often overestimate what we can achieve in a year, but underestimate what we can accomplish in 5. Progress is slow, but consistency compounds over time. Keep going. Your past may be messy, but within it lies the strength to build your future. Regret is only useful if it leads to action. If something is beyond your control, release it. Focus on what is still in your hands. Every failure, every heartbreak, every mistake is a lesson wrapped in disguise. To receive the life meant for you, you must first let go of the one you planned. Sometimes the universe has something better than what you imagined. The poorest person is not the one without money, but the one whose only wealth is material. Richness comes in many forms: wisdom, love, purpose. Seek those as much as you seek financial security. Solitude is the price of self-growth. The higher you climb, the thinner the air, and the fewer people who will understand your journey. Not everyone will be able to follow where you go. Do not underestimate people. You never know who may leave your life or when. More importantly, you never truly know their value until they are gone. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Motivation comes from movement. If you feel stuck, take a single step. Any step. Progress begins with action. The greatest compliment you can give someone is your full attention. In a world full of distractions, deep listening is rare. Master it. 2 men look out from the bars of a prison cell. One sees mud. The other sees stars. Perspective is everything. We are not exhausted by work. We are exhausted by worry, resentment, and doubt. Free your mind, and you free your energy. Do not buy something just because it is cheap. The cheapest decisions often cost the most in the long run. Each day is a deposit into the bank of your life. Spend wisely. You cannot change the past, but you can decide right now how your story will end.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.